Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Final Word, the number one Pacers podcast on the web. I'm your host, Preston.
And I'm your co-host, Raj. And we have another great show lined up for you guys today. But before we get to that, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to The Final Word so you never miss a show. Plus, it would really help us out and support the production of the show. Also, if you guys would like to support the podcast, you can sponsor us at one of the top 2 levels. Click the link in the episode description. We will shout out your business, your cause, or just your social media handle each month. And you'll be added to a private Final Word community so you can hang live with me and Preston while we watch the Pacers smoke the competition. Or you can support by getting a professionally installed smart home by one of our top security providers in the country. Just text smart home to 317-300-4750. That's 317-300-4750. So just to let you guys know, Preston is back. We are so happy Preston is back. He's been gone on vacation. Preston, are you glad to be back in the building?
Oh yeah, as always.
Yes, and also because Preston's back and you guys know that we had a special guest, we thought we'd go ahead and bring that special guest back on at least one more time just so we can all have like a little reunion. So we do have my dad, Preston's grandpa, back on the line with us today. Dad, you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, welcome home, Preston. Missed you.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. I was sad. I was here to listen to the podcast, and I was like, "Ooh, I want to be there," you know. But you guys did a good job holding down the fort. Oh yeah.
Yeah, your grandpa did do a good job holding down the fort. Very knowledgeable with his information, because if you guys may not know this, but my father, Mr. Reed, Preston's grandfather, actually was a basketball coach. So he does have insight because he used to coach basketball. And he actually coached NBA players. So he does know what he's talking about. So just thought I'd throw that out there. So if you guys wonder why he just has all this knowledge about basketball, that is why. So, but yeah, Dad, so what did you think about the game? So I know you were able to see all of it.
Well, as I often say, I've been able to say truthfully this year, the game was just really exciting. You know, for some reason, our Pacers, they want you to be involved, they want you to be excited, and once again, you could tell that the crowd was really excited and into the game, and once again, the crowd really fed the team the energy that they needed to get the job done this evening.
Yes, they did. So it started off a little slow. It was a little bit of a grind, like it was that last, was it the Raptors game? It was a grind? Which game was it?
It was I think it might have been the Raptors.
Was it the Raptors?
I'm not sure.
You played so many teams, I think you lose track of it, don't
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
no.
it's always been. I love how the Pacers can come through in a lot of these situations. Like there's a point where they had like a 4-game winning streak until we lost to the forget what team we lost to, but we had a 4-game winning streak.
The 76ers.
Yeah, we lost to the 76ers and they broke the winning streak, and I was like, dang. But right after that, we won 2 more games?
Yeah, and we should have really won that 76ers game. We really should have, but it was that Portland game that was a grind. It wasn't as much as a grind apparently by the score at the end, but it was still a grind. It started off a little slow. The ball was, getting turned over quite frequently during the back and forth quite frequently during the third quarter. But yeah, so you said you saw that, what's that report they call it? They call it a 2-minute report. Is that what they call it?
A 2-minute report.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but Portland was actually the last game, and it looked like it wasn't as much of a grind as it, because towards the end they got a little spread in the points, but that was really just because they were hitting free throws. They hit those free throws, and that sort of slowed the game down. And then when when you turn around and Tyrese hits the 3 and drills that 3, that's really important too. So, but yeah, and Pacers, they got to solve this problem of slow starts. I mean, seldom do they start out, or end up where they're not fighting to dig themselves out of a hole. And you think if they could just cut down a little bit on turnovers at the beginning of the game, they make more turnovers at the beginning of the game than they do towards the end.
That's
usually.
true.
But once again, their defense, as the game goes along, they experience the things that they know will work and will be effective against their opponents. And they tend to be able to lock in a little tighter when we get to that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So that's why they sort of come storming back, because they get a lot of deflections.
Yeah, they do. Speaking of deflections, Myles Turner with that last shot block, he's making a strong case for himself right now.
Yeah,
Yes, he is. And I'll tell you, that was really key, because when he made that block, that really sealed the game.
It really did. It really did. And here's the thing. Me and Preston were just talking about this prior. And we're kind of talking about Myles Turner, how he ranks among other centers. Obviously, there's a Joel Embiid and there's other players like that. But as far as what Myles does for this team, he doesn't need to have the ball because he's not the primary scorer. Joel Embiid's a primary scorer, so he gets more points. And so this team's a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not really dependent on one individual player.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
And so
it's actually a real balanced team. I mean, because as you look at it, and Buddy can get a lot of points real quick for you. Matherin, did I say his name right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah. But he can come in and get a bunch of points. You never know when he's gonna get them, but once again, he's good at getting to the line, hitting those free throws.
Yeah,
and so then if you look at Tyrese, he's always going to get everybody involved. So he's going to move that ball. He's going to have assists.
Yeah.
But then again, there's times he has to realize, look, I just got to shoot and take those shots, because when he's on and he's got that clicking and Buddy's got that clicking, and then
Splash Brothers.
Yep.
Who?
He said Splash Brothers. Got the Midwest Splash Brothers.
Yeah, because all these
Splash Brothers.
We're talking about the Pacers. Leave those boys.
Well,
no, it's a reference.
I told you we got the Midwest Splash Brothers over here.
Yeah.
We got the Midwest Splash Brothers.
Yeah, but I like that. Like, he was naming all the starters, and I like that we have a team that if one starter isn't on it, I mean, the other one's going to pop off. It's where everybody's like a well-balanced team, like how Grandpa said. So I like that we have a team to where we can count on everybody to be phenomenal and play well.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can count on anybody to, like, if Haliburton's not leading the team that day, who knows? Somebody else can start stepping in. Like, Myles Turner has been really doing good in these fourth quarter games. Like,
yes, he has.
Like, every
Very
time,
well.
like, it's either him, Haliburton, or both of them. Those are like the two guys who are just like coming in clutch, and they're just really coming in and doing like special things that's like really good in the fourth quarter. Like, they're figuring it out. So yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of Haliburton and Myles Turner, I really feel like Myles Turner Haliburton really gets Myles Turner going with certain assists and whatnot. And you can see him, even though he gives him the assists, they're running back down the court together. He's patting Myles on the chest, saying "good job," and whatever he's saying. It's like you can tell that he really believes in Myles Turner.
They're having fun, and I think you'll notice even the commentator, he pointed out tonight the fact that Myles Turner's game has been elevated.
Yeah,
he's not like I've often said for years. They were actually playing him out of position
and making him look bad. Really, if you think about it.
Yeah, and so because of that, a lot of people didn't know. And as a matter of fact, he did it tonight. And in the first quarter, he got I think it's a steal, no, a rebound, and come off with the rebound, and he started up court, and there was nobody in front of him, and he made a little move and just went right by the guy, left him standing, and then went up for the dunk.
Exactly.
So, yeah, but remember, I told you he's capable of doing those things. People just don't know what he can do because he wasn't given the freedom to develop or to actually play his game. And now that he's at the true 5, he even said it himself, he's in a comfort zone.
Yeah, so he's able to play in a spot that he was always like truly honestly meant to play, not meant to play, but in a spot that fits him well so he can develop in that and get better at his position. But before, when he was in a spot where it wasn't working for him, he couldn't get better because he wasn't good. They weren't placing him in a good spot, so he couldn't get better at that spot. I mean, it just wasn't working out. Yeah, so exactly. Now that he's in the right spot, he's getting better, he's improving, and he's really coming in for us in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he is. He's getting better, and I do understand because you'll watch like clips of Myles Turner maybe in his workouts. Maybe he'll have Instagram clips posted, or you'll find YouTube videos of him playing pickup games with people, and then you see the skills that he's using currently right now. It's like, and so it makes you hopeful, and then the season comes around and he's not doing that, but it's because, like you were saying, he was being played out of position because of Sabonis. So Sabonis being gone, it helps really everybody out, as you can see. The Pacers are better, the Kings are better, which I was saying I hope the Kings got worse.
Yeah, but they're good.
But it's okay. I mean, I still like Sabonis. I just wanted to know we definitely had the better part of the trade. But
and I think the reason why is because we don't have necessarily the guy who's like ball dominant, and like if the game's tough, he'll just pop off. Like how like when John Morant left the Grizzlies against the Warriors last season for one of the games in the finals, how they did really good. I'm not saying they necessarily did better, but they did really good with like everybody contributing a little bit more instead of it just being in Jai's hands the whole time. So yeah, I think I kind of like the way of not necessarily having the guy, which the guy is obviously Haliburton, but like the team's ready to pick up slack now.
Yeah, because he's different. Haliburton's different as being the guy, because Haliburton's also, he's a true point guard. Like he's the most true point guard we've ever had. And
usually when you talk about a player that's ball dominant, they have to have the ball in their hand to be able to score. Now, the great thing about Haliburton is he's a ball dominant guard, but he's the ball dominant guard that his greatest joy comes from giving the ball and placing the ball in position for his teammates to score.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think he had 13 assists tonight. Was it 13 or 14?
He was close to that.
Yeah,
yes,
it was 13 or 14.
And you really during the course of the game, you don't actually notice all the assists he's made because he just makes them in spots and he just catches people where they need to be. Just like the other night when Jackson was playing at the 5 position. Like I said, he's a slasher. And he's always going to the basket. And, once again, Haliburton just looked and found him in the right place at the right time. So, those strengths that he has, he capitalizes on.
Yeah, he does. So the Pacers right now, they're 5 games over 500 right now. 6 home game wins in a row. So if you're a Pacers fan and you've been attending Gamebridge, Fieldhouse, or whatever they call it, they keep on changing the name of it.
I know.
Gamebridge, Conseco, Life, Bankers, Fieldhouse.
No,
I miss it when it was game. I forgot.
Bankers Life.
Yeah, Bankers.
Well, it first started off as Conseco Fieldhouse, and what they change it to next? It was Conseco. Then they changed it to not Lucas Oil. That's where the Colts play.
No, that's it.
I don't know, but
where
like
the coach team is supposed to play.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I think they changed it a couple times, but I know it's Conseco that was Baker's life for a long time. But who knows? Anyway, and speaking of, we really need to get over there. So they've made all these improvements. We really need to. It's such a shame we're doing this podcast and we haven't been to a game this year, but yeah. Our excuse is still COVID. So that's our excuse.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you've been going to the games, I'm sure you've been happy. Like,
yeah, you've been having a good time. You've got your money's worth. They've been bringing the drama, because that's the thing about this team. It's like, that's kind of the difference between the team we are versus, you could say, the team that the Hornets is. Because the Hornets, they're not a bad team. They got some really good players. I mean, they have Lamello Ball. It was nice seeing Lamello Ball and Haliburton on the court together, just because they're both dynamic point guards. They both do. I'm not gonna say, but yeah, they do similar things. They're both dynamic point guards. They're pass first point guards. They're high energy, exciting. You're not exactly sure what's gonna happen, but the difference we have is we can actually close out these games when they are tight. We've proven that.
Yeah, the Hornets. I feel like watching the few games I have. I mean, I feel like they're like always kind of like the Pacers, but then they just don't come out with it because they just need that extra. I don't know what it is, but they just need that extra.
I'm not exactly sure what it is either. And it could be chemistry, which Myles Turner brought up the fact of their chemistry, which is one thing I really hope these Pacers fans really understand, that chemistry is a big deal. People talk about trading away. I don't know why people talk about getting rid of Buddy Hield still at this point. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Because for one, it's like you should get rid of Buddy Hield like the Warriors should get rid of Steph Curry, because he's the number one shooter right now in the league. You
can't compare.
No, he's the number one shooter, so you can't compare.
Well, you can't say Buddy Hield.
Hold on. Any intelligent move.
Yeah, how's that translating to intelligently moving Buddy Hield to get something better when he's already the best? You can't move up from best right now. He doesn't have the legacy of Stephen Curry right now, but right now he's currently shooting the best in the league. He's over 50% from three right now for the last month.
Didn't Steph get hurt?
I don't know if Steph.
I still think I'm not saying Buddy's not a good shooter.
Been injured. So.
Yeah. He got hurt.
But so hey, but that's part of the game too. You get injured, somebody else steps up, which is really I think again another really important thing about the Pacers. Now, remember, Smith played tonight also.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jackson didn't play. But once again, we're still looking at the Pacers bench when they come in, that the strength of that team is in their bench, in the fact that they don't really give a whole lot of ground.
Mm-hmm.
They hang in there, and so and actually our bench most times, more often than not, will actually score more points than the opponents.
Yeah, we have a really good bench.
Yes, we have a really effective bench.
Yeah, so I think we're the number one bench in the league right now.
We should be.
Pretty sure we are the number one bench in the league. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with things too. Now I will say, Mathurin didn't do so well tonight, but it's okay. It looked like when he got taken off the floor when there was 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, he seemed like he was really disappointed in himself, even though, I think I'm not sure if we were winning at that point. It was a close game. But, the coach took him off the floor. What you going to do? I mean, it wasn't his night. Nembhard was playing better. So Nembhard was on the floor.
Actually, Nembhard's shots looked a lot better.
Yeah, Nembhard's shots looked better.
Clean, and
I think one of the important things is they need to get that in his head. He can shoot. Nembhard is a shooter.
Yeah, he can shoot.
And if he starts to shoot more, it'll free everybody else up more.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, Nembhard can definitely shoot. Now, he did have Some careless looking turnovers tonight. I didn't really care for. It didn't really look good, you know. Had like was it a double dribble? And he had the one where he's like carrying the ball.
Well, yeah, but you know the interesting thing though. I mean, Nembhard, you have to remember, he really should still be in college.
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on how you look at it, they should all still be in college.
So when you look at it, but a lot of things that you would say older players should have worked out better, you know, because the age will give him a little more leadway. But the other thing is that in itself is something he'll learn from.
Mm-hmm.
See, he'll remember, and he'll look at the videos and see when he makes those mistakes. They're really, as I look at it, I say, you know, if you was in middle school and you made those mistakes, I'd be on you.
Mm-hmm.
If you were at high school and you made those mistakes, I'd be on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you a pro and you making those kind of mistakes, you're on you anyway. You know, so you'll learn.
Yeah, he'll learn. He will learn, or he'll get sat down. That's what happens. you learn or you get sat down. But I think he'll definitely learn. But yeah, Nembhard, he did good. And it's honestly when you have mistakes like that, it's still good to know that the team won. So, because I know if you have mistakes like that and then the team loses, I'm sure you might. I don't know. They might not get in their head too much, but it's still good for us that we won.
Well, you know, the one thing about any person, athlete that's competitive, when they make mistakes and they know they could have done better, and even when the loss comes as a result, they remember those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, they remember those things. And that's actually another thing that why the Pacers are actually closing games out better now, because remember in the beginning, they wouldn't close them out.
No, they wouldn't. It wasn't looking like they was going to be able to close any out. I was like, oh, so this is what it is. We got a fun to watch, exciting team that's not going to win games, like pretty much Charlotte.
They could have a slow start, but it didn't matter how many they were down by at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
They could come back and get in the game.
Yeah, so isn't like when Pacers are down 10 points or more, they come back to win in the second half. Like most of games or 12 or 13 games they've done that. I'm not sure what they said it was, but they've been doing a good job of it coming back.
But the point is, I think what's really important though is they don't panic, because they've been there, they've done that, and they know they're capable of getting in any game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now there's those rare exceptions where people come and everything they throw up just falls in, and sometimes it's that night, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the most part, teams. And you know what? Think about it. The teams they're playing and the teams they're beating, people would say, "No, they don't have a chance."
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, nobody would think they'd have as many wins as they have right now. Matter of fact, if they have that many wins last year,
I believe they had 27 wins, and I think we're at 23? Is that right? 23 wins?
23. So they 23 tonight.
We have 23 wins. So, I mean, 4 more wins, and we got our record from last year. So
went the whole year? Nah.
We had 27 wins all last year.
Yeah, last year.
That's why we were so
bad.
bad.
It was a real bare year for the Pacers.
Yeah, it was the worst year since like 1989 or something like that. Or it was really, really bad. So it was honestly, it was hard for me to watch. I can't honestly remember.
I didn't watch the games, so I didn't even.
Yeah, I can't remember how many Pacers games I watched last year. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't fun to watch last year at all. It's like
Not a lot of people.
You hoped something good was gonna happen, but honestly, it wasn't good. So I don't know, but it's good. It's fun to watch. If it wasn't fun to watch, I don't even know if we'd be making this podcast right now, to be quite honest.
I mean, we tried in the past.
I'll tell you something else that's interesting too, though. They had 2 players. Was it 2? Yeah, 2 players that got extensions.
Oh yeah, James Johnson, and
Johnson and Brissett.
And Brissett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I keep wanting to call him Jacoby. I'm gonna call him Jacoby Brissett. It's O'Shea Brissett.
Yeah.
I bet you he gets called Jacoby.
But the fact is, they got those extensions. Well, actually, just for a year. But I mean, you know, the contract for the year is knowing I have that. That's a good thing. That's
money.
Good money.
It's good money, security. It's like, okay, I know what I'm doing next. I'm gonna be playing with the Pacers, so we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing for the Pacers. So as far as you think they're gonna keep O'Shea long term, what do you think? Because I like O'Shea, but it didn't seem like they're completely ever decided on what they want to do with him.
Well, you know, the other thing is, you look at what O'Shea gives them and what he can do, but you got to remember now, even where he's at, you got Smith there, you got Jackson. Those guys are coming on, and I'm still trying to figure out what's going to happen with Goga.
Yeah, what's going to happen with Goga?
Man.
He was.
Goga was popping off. Like, was it like the end of last season, or was it what?
I can't remember when. It might have been early this season.
I think it was early this season or the end of last season or something. But Goga was popping off, and I mean, like, he was all hype, and he was like, and he was like scoring. And there was one part where he blocked the ball and like got the rebound, passed it. Somebody passed it to him, and then he did like a move and then dunked the ball or something.
Yeah, Goga's not a.
I remember he blocked the ball and then he passed it to somebody. He ran down the court with them, and then they threw it up, and he almost hit his head on the backboard. And he like barely slams it, and it was on like the back of the rim.
Are you talking about when somebody threw it up and he got a lob?
Yeah, he got a lob, and it was like at the back of the rim, like his fingers touched like the back. It was crazy.
That was good. I think was that this year? I think it might have been this. I think it was this year.
That was crazy.
I think it was this year. Yeah, Goga really impressed.
Oh yeah, that was this year when Turner wasn't playing, so then he got more time.
Yeah, Goga really impressed. I was like, okay, Goga, you're trying to step your game up because he knows. I mean, he could be on the chopping block. You never know. You know, I mean, Goga is.
You never know. But you know, then the other thing is, if they let a player like Brissett go, they let him go, he's going somewhere. Yeah. Somebody's picking him because somebody wants it. They see he has value.
Yeah, he definitely has value. He's a high energy guy. He seems to make the right play more often than not.
And this is critical too. He's not old.
No, he's not old at all. Like most of the team, I really don't even understand why they talk about anybody being older than the Pacers, because their oldest player is what, Buddy Hield? No, it's James.
No, James.
Yeah, James is. He's 35. But still, and I'll be honest, I didn't even know the guy existed till this year.
Truthfully, I didn't either.
I was like, oh, James Johnson, veteran? Okay, yeah, where was he at? So, but yeah, there's so many players to even keep track of, so it's hard to know who's on whose bench all the time. So yeah, but you know, I mean, I haven't really seen much of him even with the Pacers. Still waiting for Tice to make his entrance, his grand entrance, so he can take the hoodie off and get on the court. Stop looking like he's, you know, just over there on the side, just with his nachos or whatever.
Well, hey, he's on the side, but you know what? Guess what?
What's that?
He's still getting paid.
Oh, yeah, he's still getting paid.
Yeah, he's still getting paid.
But I want to see him play. I want to see how he mixes with this team.
And I tell you, he can play. Now, tonight, T.J. McConnell got hurt.
Yeah, what happened to TJ?
Injured.
Oh yeah, because he got
shoulder. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's that screen that what's his face did. What's that man's name? I want to call him Dudley for some reason. What's his name?
No, it's not Dudley. Gee.
But y'all saw him, the center.
Yeah, he's from Indiana.
Yeah, exactly. He played. He didn't play for us. No, he didn't play for us ever. But yeah, I do know he's from Indiana. He didn't go to IU?
He went to Duke.
He went to Duke.
Yeah,
For some reason I thought he...
Plumlee.
Plumlee.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to say Dudley.
Yeah, because I knew one of his relatives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plumlee set that screen, and T.J. McConnell ran into pretty much a brick wall. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, it looked bad.
I felt sorry for him. I was like, poor little guy.
I know, man.
Poor little TJ. It was like, don't be picking on TJ like that.
Exactly.
Hopefully
he's one of the oldest players.
Get some ice on it and maybe some heat or whatever. Whatever he needs and get back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's another thing that to a certain degree it sort of slowed the Pacers down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
You know, because he really puts pressure on other teams. The way he moves that ball around, the way he's weaving in and out of people, just probing.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch him play. I mean, even though he's not a great shooter, so to speak, he does have his shot that you do feel confident if he shoots it, he's gonna hit it. You know, that little short range shot he has that just magically goes in. It seems like it goes in a lot of the time, and he's just a high energy guy. So somebody who you wouldn't think necessarily would be super valuable in the NBA is very valuable on the Pacers, at least. You know.
That's right.
Yeah. Because he's a point guard who can't really shoot threes that well. You know, he's made improvements and whatnot.
Well, I mean, being a point guard doesn't mean you can shoot threes well.
Yeah, that's true, but that's just kind of what it seems like as of lately. That means if you're in the backcourt, that at some point in time you're gonna become a respectable 3-point shooter. That's what you would think.
Yeah, because of all these past years, recently all these point guards are being able to shoot nowadays. So
yeah, because when you think of a point guard, I mean, you think NBA point guard, the first thing that comes to my head is Stephen Curry. So second thing you might think of Chris Paul
or Dame.
You know, so and those guys can shoot. So I don't know. That just kind of is what it is.
Oh.
Point guard seems like it's synonymous with shooting. It's not. It's
you would think shooting guard. Exactly.
It helps to have one that can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes them actually more of a threat.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain situations you just want a guard that you know is not going to turn the ball over, and he'll get people in the position they need to be in to score.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
exactly.
It doesn't hurt to have the extra, knowing he can put that ball in. Every now and then you'll see TJ has the ball and he's wide open and he knows he should take the shot. But the question is, will he take the shot?
Will he take the shot? That's a good question.
Will he take the shot?
We don't know. And honestly, I'm thinking...
Sometimes he'll take them, and then you'll hear the commentator say, yep, that was a shot. He had to take it. Okay?
He had to take the shot.
Because if you don't take it, then your opponents don't see you as a threat, and instead of playing against 5 players, they end up playing 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you do got to take the shot. It's important because,
it helps keep everybody honest.
It does. It does help keep people honest. And I think he started off doing a little bit better at those 3-pointers, but
he is.
He's still working at them.
But yeah, he's still working. But yeah, it was a rough looking game. They came out with the win. So there's been a little bit of talk about Myles Turner as of lately. Before we wrap up the show, I do want to address this because some people are kind of freaking out about Myles Turner and what is he gonna do, and he doesn't like us. I've heard people say, this is another Paul George situation, which it's not at all. Myles Turner has been completely respectful in how he deals with his personal affairs. He can't help it if people report on things he may do or may not do. But he's not come out and said anything crazy. He's not said, I don't want to play here. He's not saying, hey guys, trade me. He's not saying any of this stuff. All he did was, I'm not exactly sure what he did, but his contract extension talks had ended. and that's essentially what happened. And I can't blame him. You know, he knows how much money they were going to give DeAndre Ayton, so he wants to see how much he can get or how much somebody's going to get him. You know, I'm sure he likes playing with the Pacers, and I'm sure he likes playing with Haliburton. But I mean, he's never had this opportunity right now to actually, you know, test the market like he's going to be able to test the market.
Yeah, I think.
Well, you know, the other thing is, Myles Turner is playing the game for Myles Turner. He's not playing for all these little, Wally Zerbiak type people. They want to sit up and criticize him.
Yeah, you know.
And, you know, there are a lot of people, once again, and I say this, doesn't make sense to me. Everybody wants them to trade Myles Turner to somebody. Why, if he's not any good, does anybody want him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If he's not any good. Well, the thing is, people can see that he's doing well right now. And people are still grumbling like, oh, so what? He's got one good year. Who cares about that? Let's get rid of him while the stock is high. It's like, what is wrong with you people and your thought processes?
They're just trying to be like, maybe we can get him for somebody just because he led the league in blocks for like 2 years or something. Have to get 2 years. But, yeah. I think now if he can just get more or at least as much as they were going to give, what's his name, DeAndre Ayton?
Yeah.
Then he's going to stay. I mean, if they think he's as good as him, and he's like, all right, we're going to give you this contract, but if you don't take it, we're going to get this guy. I mean,
well, Myles thinks he's best in his
position. When you think about DeAndre Ayton, what did he do well that Myles can't do?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm not exactly sure what exactly he's doing well that Myles can't do.
He was putting the ball in the basket, but we see Myles can put the ball in the basket.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He can.
Okay, now, when it comes to defense, he didn't show me defense is better than Myles.
He didn't. He did not show me shot blocking is better than Myles.
So much money.
I don't know.
When it comes to temperament and attitude, you saw he couldn't get along with the coach he was with. Why do you think he's going to come to Indiana and all of a sudden he's going to get along with the coach?
I have no idea.
And
it doesn't make sense.
His relationship and the relationship of the team that he's with was not good. So what makes you think he's going to add to your locker room environment?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
So, you know, you look at all those things, you think like, okay, so why would we listen to whoever that is out there making that noise? And then again, if you don't believe you're worth the money, then I guess you don't ask.
Right.
And if the team doesn't think you're worth the money,
right,
they get a choice to make too.
Exactly.
Let's say you want to make those people out there that are complaining, you know, if you want to make them and put them in control of your team and what you do and how you progress, really?
Exactly.
You don't want those people out there to be coaches. You don't want them to be managers. And guess what? They're not coming up with the money to make the payments.
Exactly. Exactly. I just did a quick little stat check on DeAndre Ayton. He's averaging 17 points, and I'm pretty sure Turner's averaging 17 points. As far as his rebounds, now this is why people would say they want him. He's averaging 9.8 rebounds, but Turner's averaging 8 rebounds. So that 1.8 rebounds worth having possibly as somebody who's not going to flow well with our offense. And then also at the same time, you have to look at his shots that he's blocking. I'm not sure what his shots are blocking because it's not showing me right now, but he's not top 3 in shot blocking. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now because there's Myles Turner, there's Rudy Gobert, and there's probably somebody else who's not DeAndre Ayton.
And
yeah,
you can't show me where Rudy Gobert plays better than Myles Turner.
No, you can't. And Myles Turner said clearly he thinks he's the best at his position. Now, sometimes people say no because he's not rebounding.
The only reason why the other people are ahead of him, it's because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going on the past, it's not what you're going on this year. It's what was, last year.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so, and then
exactly.
once again, remember they start the season out with so many new players. You have to give them time to mesh,
Mm-hmm.
get things together.
Uh-huh.
Now, once again, Tyrese is happy with it.
Oh yeah, Tyrese loves him.
Mm-hmm.
He loves Tyrese. He keeps on dishing them balls and he keeps on jamming them.
Oh man,
Good combo.
He's attacking that rim.
you see the look that Myles Turner had tonight after he dunked that first one that Tyrese gave him.
Oh
He
yeah.
turned around, they looked at Tyrese.
He stuck his tongue out like MJ.
Yeah.
He thought he was Michael Jordan for a second. But it's nice to have him watch them play and have fun together and whatnot. So, and Myles Turner said he wished he was doing this the entire time.
Yeah, I remember.
He said that's what he said in his interview tonight with Jeremiah Johnson. So he wished he could have been doing this the entire time, which I felt like he was hinting at. He could have been doing this the entire time. It's just he wasn't allowed to do this the entire time. Mm-hmm. And I think he keeps on dropping hints that, hey, this was always me. I just wasn't used properly. Which makes sense. Paul George, he didn't want to play the 4 position because that's not what he wanted to play. That was what he felt was his natural position. He didn't feel like he could, flourish at the 4 spot, But, it is what it is when it comes to that stuff. So we're just glad he's in his position that he's comfortable in now. And hopefully continues to play well. Hopefully Pacers continue to play well. We got the Knicks coming up on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. So we'll be ready for that. Very excited. Got a couple days break. No game Monday, no game Tuesday. So I'll probably watch some other teams a little bit. And it'll be nice for them to have a little bit of a break. So, but yeah, so that is our show, guys. Thank you for joining us once again. Make sure you guys check out the Final Word Pacers podcast on YouTube if you haven't seen it there. And if you're listening and watching this on YouTube, go ahead and check out the Final Word Pacers podcast wherever you can hear podcasts, being Apple Podcasts and Spotify, Google Podcasts. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Gotta subscribe. Make sure you tell some Pacer fans about this podcast because we're going to keep on doing them like this. They're going to be exciting. They're only going to get better and better. So, but that being said, Dad, what is your final word? And you can't have a final phrase. You have to have one word. What's it going to be?
Win.
Win. That's a good one. Because if you're not winning, you're losing. And if you're not first, you're last. So, yeah. If you're not first, you're last. That's mine. First. If you're not first, you're last.
First.
And if you're not winning, you're losing.
Say first.
Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
You never said that. If you ain't first, you're last.
Like I said, win.
Okay. Preston, what's your final word?
Dang. I never know these.
Dang.
Dang.
No, not dang.
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 What's the saying?
We used to say
Dang.
about this player. Anyways,
What's the word?
My word is, I don't know, winner.
Winner.
I don't know.
Winner.
Winners.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We're the winners. I'll say winners.
All right, winners.
I promise you guys, I'm gonna get a list. I promise, I'm gonna get a list. I'm gonna pick out which one matches each episode best. So I'm gonna be prepared.
All right, so. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Final Word. You guys take it easy. Be blessed. Peace.
Deuces.